We are 9 days away from finally getting Sword of Convallaria, the global version. This is the Chinese one, and as expected for a lot of free-to-play players, you will have to save resources depending on what characters you like. Now, there is two ways of playing this game, of course. One is just going for the characters you like, how they look. You feel like, oh damn, I really enjoy this character design, I want to play with them. And you build a team around that, or a specific theme, or a specific faction, right? A lot of people also will play with meta. If you like meta, I'm going to be talking about the first banners you should be saving your resources for, why they're good, and which ones you can safely skip without worrying too much. Now, this game is a game that will do reruns pretty often. Let's say you miss Gloria. As you can see, we're getting Gloria again with Theodon. Even if you were to miss her here, she's going to be added into the normal pool of characters, or you can wait a few months and she will gonna be back. So once again, the game gets reruns pretty often, don't worry too much about that. I want to talk about the first 3-4 lines. This is mostly the start of the game, what characters are good and which characters are bad. But before we start, as usual, leave a like, subscribe. I'm Sefhi, I play a lot of gacha games. If you're interested in that, feel free to follow me. I also have my website, if you prefer a written format to see the characters. I've been working on getting the character skill trees into here, so if you come into any of the characters, right, you will be able to see the skills, the range, the cost, the vertical range, what they do, what they don't do. Of course, this is not official translations yet. On the official release, I will update every single character again, which is going to be way too much work, but it is what it is. So if you're interested in that, I have a tier list, character guides, different stuff in there you can use. Feel free to use it and share it around. So that's it. Let's start with the first 4 banners we're getting if we were to follow the Taiwanese version. And that is Samantha and Leonidas, or Leonid, or whatever name we get on English. So Samantha is one of the best healers in the game. She has a few problems, however. First of all, her biggest problem is that she's a pure support character. Does she has a few skills that can deal damage? Yes, but the reality is that you want to play her as a healer, right? She has some immunity, some debuffs as well. Her healing output, I believe, is the highest amongst any character. The issue is that most of the time when we talk about Watcher characters, right, the light characters, they provide more. It's not only just heals. A lot of characters have healing abilities, not only healers. So when we get a pure healer that cannot provide more support for your team, she kind of loses value. We also get for free one of the best healers in the game, making Samantha even more worthless. She's not worthless, all right? I'm just saying that a lot of the times people will not roll for her. Her she is. So you will get Angel for free just by completing the beginner missions. So I will say I would not personally roll for her. I would completely skip this banner. Now we also have Leonidas, or whatever his name is going to be. He has a couple auras that are pretty good. He also has a pretty fun playstyle. I would personally skip him because his damage output in comparison to other breaker characters, the red ones, is not the best one. But a lot of people will enjoy his playstyle. He basically plays chase all the time. Oh, sorry for hitting the mic. He charges at the enemy. He has multiple reactions, multiple passives that will allow him to keep charging at the enemy constantly, which is, I would say, pretty fun to do depending on your playstyle. I do enjoy that playstyle, but I'm gonna be going for meta characters rather than him. So those two first banner, I will say, yes, they are decent characters, they are good, but I would personally skip because the second banner, if we get this Call and Beryl banner, they are the strongest characters in the game. And at release, even nowadays, on most Chinese and Taiwanese tier lists you will find, in Korean ones as well, like this one, they are still T0. Call loses a little bit of value, only a little bit. The reasons are pretty simple. In fact, there is a rerun right now here, if I remember correctly. Yes. The reasons are pretty simple. So Cole has the highest, she has, sorry, it's a she, but I always confuse it because the art is not super clear, but it's a girl. So she has the highest mobility in the game. She's an assassin, and the more she kills, the more she can keep active, right? The more she can keep attacking other enemies as long as she kills. So it's a pretty fun fight style. If you like assassins, she is your go-to character. She will be a staple in a lot of teams. She is, once again, the highest mobility and one of the highest damage outputs you can get early on in the game. Early and mid-game, she will dominate. And then you have Beryl. Now, Beryl is still nowadays the best magic damage dealer in the game. Even by today's standards, she is still the most used magic damage user, and she will only get better when we get in the future more support characters for her. For now, even without those specific supports for magic teams, she is a T0 unit. I will go for this banner 100%. Even if you're rerolling, I will tell you go for one of these two if you can guarantee them, right? If you can. If not, remember that there is a selector in the shop for $35. If you don't want to spend money, then just play free to play. You should be able to get one of the two by just playing the game normally and clearing campaign with those rewards. Now we move into the next set of banners, which is going to be Nono, Gloria, and Theodon. Theodon, you can safely skip. In my opinion, he is one of the worst tanks we could get, and we also get Mytha for free. Not only you get Mytha for free, but you will get multiple copies of her for free by clearing the beginner missions, making her the best tank at the release just because she's free. Yes, just because she's free. Because you can get better tanks long term. When Cocoa comes out on global, you should be going for her. But until she comes out, Mytha is really good. Until Cocoa comes out. Cocoa is just the best tank in the game, hands down. She's just completely overpowered in comparison to any other tank. But until then, you can use just Mytha, and that's gonna be more than enough for your needs as a tank. And again, it's free, right? Alexia and Magnus are other good options, but we'll talk about those in the future. So I will skip Theodon. There is no reason to go for him. When it comes to Gloria, Gloria is one of the best characters in the game, and you should be aiming for her on your reroll if possible. Gloria is a character that will provide a lot of AoE damage, a lot of AoE buffs with her flag. She's constantly putting the flag down, picking it up, putting the flag down, picking it up, providing buffs, debuffs for the enemies, AoE damage. She does everything, and it's really, really good. Again, by today's standards, she is still a T0 character in most Chinese and Taiwanese servers. And then we have Nono. Nono is one of the characters a lot of people really like just because of her design. I'm on that camp as well. She looks wonderful. I'm not sure if I will go for her, however. Her playstyle is a little bit weird. She's constantly jumping around with her passive, and I also assume because she is half a furry, so she likes jumping around, alright? But basically, she deals decent AoE damage. I really like her. And she also has infection, which we could consider AoE damage over time, poison, whatever you want to call it, right? In this game, it's called infection, even though we do not know what's going to be called on release, right? Maybe it's not infection. But as you can see, she gets the infection debuff, which is basically what's going to be doing most of her skills, or most of her kit is what it's going to be doing. I will say if you like her, she is a safe unit to play. She's 0.5, as you can see. She's a strong character, but I would 100% recommend Gloria over her, because Gloria will not get phased out at any time soon, right? Even a year later, Gloria is still going to be providing you with really amazing buffs, support, and AoE damage, in contrast to a Nono Will, which, as a blue unit, there is a lot of DPSs that are going to be released over time. So, in my opinion, either option is good, but I will go for Gloria 100%. Then we go into Garcia or Gracia and Guzman. Now, Guzman is a character that it's funny. Most people don't like, or he's going to be one of those characters that anytime you get him, people are going to be like, fuck, I got Guzman, right? He is an undead type of character, right? The moment he dies, he becomes 1 HP, and he can keep fighting again and again. I personally don't like this type of character. Also, his damage output is not the best, even though I've seen a couple of people use him in PvP, Chinese tryhards using him in PvP. Again, I know nothing about PvP, and I'm not going to be playing PvP, so I don't recommend that. But now, I would 100% skip Guzman, and I would even skip Garcia. Garcia, in terms of looks, is probably one of my favorite characters. She looks really, really, really good, but I see no reason to go for her. Once again, for a seeker unit, her damage is not the best. For example, if you want a blue unit, call damage, it's 1,000 times better. Nono Will is really good, even though Garcia could catch up depending on your team composition and what you're doing, can catch up to Nono Will, but still Nono Will is better than what Garcia will provide for you. I would personally say this is a safe banner to skip if you're not interested on either of them for the next banners, because the next banners are really, really good. So for example, after this, we're getting Lily Will. Lily Will, it's a character you could skip. She can become one of the highest archers at the release, because later we'll get better ones, but at release she can become one of the best archers. But we get for free Faikal. So once again, if I go to the beginner missions, Faikal is going to be a free character. I will not go and pull for Lily Will unless you like her design. If you like her design and you want to play with that faction, yes, go for that. But both Cal and Lily will fall down later in the game. Lily will stay on top of Cal, okay? Just to clarify a little bit that she is better. But having a free character means that I'd have no need to pull for another archer of the same type. So I would skip that banner because the next banner is probably one that most people should try to focus on, and that is Inana and Chavier. Chavier is a breaker that's not really that good. His skill set is not that amazing. I will say you can skip him perfectly fine. He does have auras, which will benefit as usual everyone, but it's not enough. His damage is not that great. For a breaker character, I will say nah, no need to, because Inana, in comparison to Inana is the strongest or one of the strongest characters in the game when it comes to being a support. She's a pure support that, in contrast to, for example, Samantha, not only will heal, but will give you one of the best abilities in the game, and that is re-enter action, aka giving you a second turn. Let's say I use Beryl and I do my turn with Beryl, right? She's done. I use Inana and I use this skill right here, and she will give an extra turn to Beryl while buffing her magic attack, which is crazy, or her physical damage, depending on what the character is, right? That skill alone is what makes her so good paired with her other buffs. She provides defense, debuff. She is really good. Not only that, but her passive skill will summon a guard. This guard basically spawns, you can control him, and he can be used as fodder or to make time for your other units to position itself. You can also keep your fodder alive quite easy because your heal will be stronger when you are using it against your own fodder, right? So it's really easy to keep him alive as fodder, just as like an extra tank to have on your team, and just in general for your other units to be able to position themselves. I would 100% pull for Inana and skip the previous banners until her, of course, not skipping Gloria, right? Then we're going into Iggy. Iggy is a character that, once again, just like Chavier, a lot of the breaker characters in this game at the release are not that good. It's gonna be some time until we get good breakers on the global version, a few months, but Iggy's kid is not good, okay? It's not a character that I will say, oh, you need to reroll for him. No. Again, if you like the faction of the furries, which I always forget the name, sorry for calling them furries, if you like Nono Will and Lily Will, you could go for Iggy, but I would not recommend. I think it's kind of wasted pulls in my opinion. Now we go into the other one that's also pretty good, and that's going to be Dantalion and Magnus, both really good characters. Dantalion is a character that does physical damage and also magical damage. His magical damage scales off his physical damage, making him a pretty fun character to build around and plan how you want to play him. And then you have Magnus, which is a really good tank, and honestly, until Cocoa comes out, you could be using Magnus and Alexei and have all of your needs covered 100%. He's really good. I will say Magnus is a little bit better than Alexei, and I might make some more tiers in the tier list to make like more changes, but they're pretty similar. If you want a reliable tank, Magnus or Alexei are your picks, and he also looks badass, right? He also has an aura, so easy pick. So those two are really good. No matter who you get in this banner, it's a good pick, I will say. Then we're going into Miguel, which once again, most of the light characters, you'll see that the only good ones are not the DPSs at the release, but supports. Even by today's standards, if I go to like any Chinese tier list, the only good light characters are supports. So I would not roll for Miguel. His kit is kind of awful, and he's one of the worst SSRs you could get. After that, we'll go into the rerun for Gloria and Theodon. I will say if you got her previously, you could skip this banner and save for the next one. Then we'll get in the brothers and a rerun for Beryl and Cole. The brothers are in an interesting situation. So when it comes to the brother, which I don't have, oh yes, see, Nergal, I would not go for him. Nergal is not a good character. Again, it's another tank. Tanks until we get Cocoa are not that great unless we're talking about Alexei and Magnus. You can skip Nergal 100%. Maitha is free, no reason to be pulling for her. However, when it comes to her sister Nungal, she is really good. She is a sniper character and she has two ways of being played. You can play her just with skills, right? Just with her normal skills, or you can play her as a sniper with basic attacks. Depending on how you want to play her, you'll build her differently and on different teams. She's pretty unique, I would say, and pretty fun to play. I would recommend, if you can get a copy there, go for her. overall a strong character and a really good one. So honestly, I don't want to keep going on the other ones because I feel the video is already going to be way too long for my usual videos. So I'm going to stop here. If you're interested in knowing the rest of the characters and what's about to come and which ones are good and which ones are bad, do let me know and I'll make a second part. When we reach, let's say, this part in the game, I'll make a second part talking about what's about to come, right? So that's it. That's right now what I would recommend skipping going forward. If you have any questions about any of the characters, feel free to leave a comment or what type of content you want to see. I know my accent is thick and hard to understand sometimes, but hopefully it wasn't too bad in this video. That said, thank you for watching the video. I love you all bosses. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. Links in the description down below. Good luck with your pulls and see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。